Hi girls, guys, and non-binary pals. It's your boy Carter here, back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel where I talk all things mental health and psychology and my recovery and my journey with mental illness. And today though, I thought that I would talk about, and I hope I can make sense because to me this doesn't make sense when I say it, but it does. Like, I know what I'm trying to say. So I hope y'all can get me and y'all can feel me, and I hope that it makes sense. Today's video is about things that I feel like people and society should consider more traumatic, and realize that like these things are hard to go through and can cause long-term pain and long-term recovery. So yeah, I hope it makes sense, and I hope everybody's having a good day, and I hope you guys know you're beautiful, and I hope you guys got some outside time today. Anyway, let's do this. Number one is bullying, and I was actually talking to my therapist about this the other day, and I was just like, hey, do you agree with me that bullying can be traumatic? Because I was talking about this video, even though I don't know how much he really gave a shit about that, but you know, I hope he did. I mean, I was just rambling on because he asked me what was new in my life, and that was positive. And I was just like, I've been working a lot on YouTube. I have a new video coming out that's about traumatic things that I think people should consider like traumatic. Agree with me that it can be traumatic, and we were like just saying that it can leave some long-lasting, long-term effects on people's brain and really put your brain on survival mode. I know that once I got out of junior high, because I dropped out in grade 8, I was constantly on survival mode. I was constantly watching and being cautious about things I was posting. I was cautious about going out in public still, because I was like, what if I see my bullies? Like, this is scary and shit like that. I could make a whole video about how my bullying experience was traumatic. Number 2 is catcalling, and I feel like people are starting to recognize this one as traumatic, but I still feel like there's some people in this world and society still has some trouble recognizing this as traumatic. It's not okay. It is not a joke. It pisses me off when I hear people say, oh, but catcalling's a form of a joke. Because I'm like, it's a form of a horrible joke. Check your shit. Number 3 is friendship breakups and romantic breakups. Now, this can be really traumatic, and I feel like people don't focus on how traumatic it can be. And I was talking to somebody about this because I was just like, when my daughter or even my son gets their heart broken, I plan to be there for them, because especially at a young age, that shit hurts. That shit's traumatic. Like, that shit can affect you for the rest of your fucking life. And like, even friendship breakups, like, I'm gonna be buying that tub of ice cream for my kiddo when their best friend and them have a falling out, because that is traumatic. And I can remember so many points in my life where losing friends was really traumatic for me. And this, like, of course, due to my BPD and my abandonment issues, that definitely has something to do with it. But still, even without that abandonment issues and even without having BPD, like, number 4 is moving. I wrote this one down because I moved a lot in my childhood, which meant moving schools for a multitude of different reasons. And I feel like people don't realize that that can be traumatic, especially when you don't have that support system. Moving can be really traumatic, and I feel like it doesn't matter if it's just you're staying in the same state or province, but you're just moving somewhere else. Just feel like it can be traumatic, moving schools, moving jobs. Number 5, watching people explode. This can like really damage somebody. Watching somebody get angry, watching somebody punch a wall or throw things, watching somebody break things in front of you can really imprint on your brain and also do some long-term damage. This is a type of trauma that I feel like not a lot of people focus on. A lot of people are like, oh, at least I'm not attacking them, or at least I'm not attacking you. And it's just like, what you're doing though is still traumatic. Like, it still affects me. Catfishing. I've never been catfished unless you consider what I went through catfishing once, but I think that what I went through, and a lot of people have told me that that could have been just them using somebody else as a ruse. Like, it's a very conflicting story. But I've had friends that have been catfished, and I don't know, like, I feel like people should realize that that is traumatic, and that can lead to some long-term effects. Like I've been saying a lot in this video. I feel like I've been saying that like every single time. I'm sorry. One of my friends, she told me that like she never could date for a couple of years because she never knew who was real and who was fake. She felt like everybody was not real, and I don't know. One person's experience is not everybody's experience. I get that, but I think I'd consider catfishing traumatic. Being embarrassed. This kind of thing can be really traumatic, and I feel like people, this goes back to what I was saying about catcalling, how people think it's funny and just a joke, and you're being sensitive, you're being a snowflake, when no, that shit hurts. Like, I don't want people knowing certain things about my life, and like I guess it also depends on like the relationship and how the person's comfort level is and shit, but it's the worst when you ask them to stop and they won't stop. And yeah, like that kind of thing is traumatic. Okay, I'm gonna just stop. I think this whole video, that's the point of this video, Carter. Number 8 is puberty. That shit is really traumatic. I'm glad that I never have to go through puberty again. As a trans person, I really wish I was able to start puberty blockers when I was younger, but I wasn't. I did not have the opportunity to explore my gender identity as a child. Anyway, not the point. I really wish that I had access to puberty blockers when I first started going through puberty. And even my friends who are cis tell me that puberty was really traumatic for them. It really can fuck with people in multiple different ways. It can fuck with children in multiple different ways. And I feel like more parents should be more considerate, and more teachers should be more considerate, and more just everybody should be more considerate of how traumatic childhood puberty is for trans people and for cis people. Being lied to just sucks in general. But I feel like if you lie to somebody multiple times, that can cause some long-term effects. Lying is not okay. I'm gonna sound like a teacher. Lying is a crime. No, true. Wait, no. What was it? If lying was a crime, we would all be in jail. Who else has seen Pretty Little Liars? I bet I'm not the only one who can quote Pretty Little Liars on the top of their head sometimes. But anyway, the last one I want to talk about was the loss of a pet. Losses of pets can be really heartbreaking and really traumatic, and I feel like people don't pay enough attention when it's a pet. I feel like people are starting to, but I still feel like people neglect that and only care when people die. Which, a pet is like, at least for me, my pets are my family, and I love them, and they are always going to be a part of me, and I don't know what I'm going to do when that day comes. I recently just lost my bunnies, and it was one of the worst things to go through. I was the one who fucking found them. We're gonna try not to overshare about this. But that still fucks with me, and yeah. Anyway, guys, I love you guys so much. Stay positive, stay strong. I love you guys. My familia matter, and you are special, and keep going, keep fighting. Join the Fighting Care Bears. Hit that giant thumbs up button, and check out my other channel. I will put it in the eye icon. Bye, guys.